When I was younger, I've always envisioned my future husband looking like a Hong Kong movie star. And when I saw Sean, I was like, wow, he does kind of look like a Hong Kong movie star with that jawline and everything. And he plays sports, so I was into that. Tiffany, my friend, was just like, one day I was over and she's like, you know what? I think you and Sean would make the best couple. And I was like, oh my God, like I just really hated people introducing me because it's always been really bad, but I kind of trust Tiffany. We have the similar taste in guys. Like we both think like certain guys are attractive, whatever. So she's like, you and Sean would be so cute together. And I was like, are you sure? And then I was like, show me a picture. And she showed me and I was like, yeah, he's very cute. And then she told me all these good qualities about him. So I was like, okay, go ahead. You can give him my number.
Our first date was for coffee, but then she changed her mind to Jamba Juice. So we met at Jamba Juice. And
kind of sick that week, and when I go to work, I don't really wear any makeup or anything like that. When I'm not working at Mac, I don't really wear any makeup. And so
you know, she just got out of work. I think she was sick that day.
I figure it's just a quick coffee break or lunch or Jamba Juice meetup, so I should be fine. And so I get there, and then I saw him. He was waiting at Corner Bakery, and so he was kind of out in full view. And I was like, is that the guy? And I was like, oh my God, he's actually really cute, like cuter in pictures. So I was like franticing because I'm so used to like wearing a little bit of makeup, so I didn't know what to do. I was just off work in a hurry, and then I didn't know what to do. I was like freaking out. So then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at the block. I know there's a cosmetic counter somewhere. So I texted him, hey, I'm gonna be like 5 minutes late. And so I ran over to, I think it was the makeup company at Saks or something like that. And so I put on a little blush so I don't look so sick or whatever. And then I came over like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was late. It's kind of lame, but.
And hit it off. And so we set, I think I didn't call her for like 3 or 4 days. And she probably was curious why I didn't call her.
So I was like, okay, so maybe it didn't go as well as I thought. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And I'm not gonna call him first. So.
And she didn't call me back. So finally I called her for our first date. And so we met up at Habana. It set up the mood very nice. We eat outside. It was a cool, brisk night. You know, we had a little wine, opened up a little bit, little tapas, you know, some light food.
And for some reason, the second time we met, there was like instant spark, like chemistry, like we missed each other, like our body language was good, like everything went really well that night. And then what made it really, really special for us is that
after dinner, we went into the restroom, and there was a saying or sign on top of the mirror, and it kind of a reflection onto the mirror, and it says,
it has to start somewhere. What better place than here? And he's like, look. And then I was like, that is just so cute, because it really did start right there. Like after that, we've been together since. he didn't really hint anything, but he would say like, oh babe, like our kids are gonna do this and that. So he mentions me in his future, but he never looked at rings. He never asked me what I want, what ring I want, like nothing like that. So I had no idea. It was right at our 2-year anniversary. It's actually the anniversary of the Jamba Juice, like our first meeting, because it meant a lot to both of us. And so he took me out like normal. He bought me flowers and took me out. And so I just thought it was just an anniversary celebration. So I was just going along. I had no idea. And then he was like, we're going to go downtown. I was like, okay.
I tried to keep it casual. It was just, it was our anniversary. 2-year anniversary is when we proposed. Actually, it is our 2-year anniversary when we proposed. And she didn't know it. She thought it was just an anniversary dinner. So I took her to downtown San Diego.
So he took me downtown and he wanted to stop by the Top of Hyatt. I've never really been to a lot of places in San Diego at that time, so he took me up to this the Top of Hyatt, and then we were sitting there looking at the view and having a drink and things like that, and then he just held my hand.
And I went down on my knees. I remember I was a little bit nervous. I think she was kind of wondering why I was like I was kind of choking up, but I kind of spoke to her and she thought it was an anniversary thing.
And he started talking about how when he first met me and like how he was fully committed from the start. He just knew this and that, and I had no idea. I kept thinking like, oh, because Sean is a really, really sweet guy. So I kept going, you're so sweet. So I didn't know, and then eventually he said like I just knew that you were the one for me, like things like that. And I was like, this is starting to kind of sound like our proposal, you know. But
and then all of a sudden I went down on my knees and I opened up the ring, and I took out the ring and I proposed to her, put it on her finger, and
I was like, oh my God, like, is he proposing? Like, is this for real? And so from then, I was trying to listen to him, but I was so in shock. Like,
she didn't know what was going on. I don't think she remembered anything I was saying. It was just like mumble jumble out of my mouth, I guess.
Said all these things that were super sweet, but I honestly don't remember because I was like in shock. Like, I had to register like slowly. Like, he got on his knees, and a minute later, my brain was like, he just got on his knees, and then he pulls out a ring. I was like, oh my God, he pulls out a ring. So I'm having all these crazy thoughts, like, this is really happening. And it was just so sweet, so perfect, because it's really hard to surprise me, but because it just happened, and then it was so quick, so random, and I was completely in shock. And I think the surprise made it the most wonderful feeling, because we never really talked about it, and he just did it, and it just happened. And I was just so happy. Like, that night I kept staring at my ring and looking at him. I was like, wow, this really did happen. And so it was really, really perfect, and I was really happy.
Tell me now, you know.